The World Health Organization says the United States could become the new epicenter of this virus. There are more than 46,000 reported cases a day after the death toll jumped by more than 100 in just a single day. Despite the staggering numbers, President Donald Trump wants the U.S. opened up in just a few weeks. CGTN White House correspondent Nathan King joins us with the latest. Nathan, is the president really serious about this?
Yes, he is. And we really have the tale of two Americas. And I'm going to explain this to you right now. You talked about the WHO there, but ground zero, and remember, ground zero is a term that applied to New York once before in our lifetimes at ASIA, but it's also at now, because it's ground zero for the U.S. pandemic. 26,000 cases, doubling every 3 days, 160 deaths, and Andrew Cuomo, the governor of that state, saying that federal government, the White House essentially, is not sending them what they promised, and they need everything, including ventilators. Let's take a listen.
You cannot buy them. You cannot find them. Every state is trying to get them. Other countries are trying to get them. The capacity is limited. They're technical pieces of equipment. They're not manufactured in 2 days or 4 days or 7 days or 10 days. So this is a critical and desperate need for ventilators.
They need 30,000 in New York. The Federal Emergency Management Group here have sent 400. Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, essentially saying, which 26,000 people do you want us to die? Because that is the problem if we don't get ventilators. Now, the White House have responded saying they're sending 2,000 today, they're sending 2,000 tomorrow, but that still leaves a huge gap. And, you know, New York says this virus is going to continue to grow. They haven't reached their apex yet. They are increasing the number of hospital beds that they think are going to be needed to 140,000. Now, meanwhile, here at the White House, the U.S. president had a town hall on television with one of his favorite networks, Fox News, and essentially said, look, this is going to get better. He even compared COVID-19 to car crashes and the seasonal flu and said, look, we want this economy open by Easter. That is about 2.5 weeks from now. How do you get this discrepancy of what you're hearing from the White House and then in one of the most populous states in the Union as well? Let's have a listen to the president.
Our country is not supposed to be, you know, it's not built to shut down. Our people are full of vim and vigor and energy. They don't want to be locked into a house or an apartment or some space. It's not for our country. We're not built that way.
Now, President Trump saying that he wants to get everything up and running again by Easter is going against the advice of a lot of his coronavirus task force, including the medical professionals and a lot of state governors. And it's not clear he would be able to as well. California, New York, powerful states with powerful governors. But it's quite incredible. There's the number of cases spreads here. As the WHO says, the United States could become the new epicenter, that you're hearing such divergent views here in the United States.
And Nathan, where do things stand with this, I believe, $2 trillion stimulus package? I mean, for heaven's sakes, what is the holdup here?
Well, it was $1 trillion and now it's $2 trillion, so that is good news. And the good news is that it looks like we're only a few hours away from Democrats and Republicans hashing out a deal on Capitol Hill, just a mile or so away from me. And the markets are expecting it. They have been in the green quite incredibly. The Dow currently up around 1,500 points. That's well over 8%. That's the biggest bounce back we have seen since the coronavirus really hit in the U.S. Is it temporary? We don't know. But the problem is, of course, is how you dole out the cash. Who gets what and when? Direct payments to Americans? Yes. The Democrats are fighting for other things like paid family leave, unemployment insurance, health. But also there's bailouts of companies as well. So there's been a big fight. It'll be interesting to see what the compromise is. But yeah, the price tag now $2 trillion. Back to you, Asia.
Nathan King live for us at the White House.